and we are NV Board Gaming, and today we're looking at Paladins of the West Kingdom. This is a 1 to 4 player game. It's published by Renegade Game Studios and designed by Shem Phillips and S.J. McDonald. Nick is going to give an overview of how you play, and then we're going to give our review.
All right, we're set up here for a 2-player game of Paladins of the West Kingdom. On the board, you're going to see a bunch of stuff going on here. It's a worker placement game at its heart, but you're playing most of your stuff on your own little board. Typically, these 2 boards you see out here are expanded this way, but you can see now that I'm not going to do that because you won't see anything going on that far away from your camera. So I just put them right on top of each other. But just know that this one would actually go to the right, and things would be going on over here. So this is a whole separate board. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to reveal round 1, what it is tasked over here. So this is saying that it's the symbol for converting. This plus symbol is a convert symbol. And it's saying that if you get 5 at the end of the game, you're going to get 4 victory points as marked here. So we don't know what the rest of these are. They're revealed round after round. The game is played in 7 rounds here. And you can see each round is marked at the top of this. So that kind of lets you keep track of what is going on, how much longer we need. The first 2 that are revealed here are little goals like this. And the next ones are actually action spots that you can put your worker. It's a shared area that both players, or all players I should say, can go to. One worker can go to. We have different types of workers. We have all different colors are set aside, but I'm just going to show you what we're going to do to start our game. First, players are going to draft one of these people that help you. I'm not going to do that, but just know that if you take one of these, they will help you for the rest of the game. They'll give you little abilities down here, and we'll go through that right in a little bit when I do an action, maybe to acquire it. But at the beginning, you do get that for free in reverse turn order. So I look at my 3 cards here. I have one that helps me when I do a praying action, one that helps me when I do a trading action, and another that helps me when I do a hunting action. So if I were to take this individual, the other 2 I have to decide what to do with. I either put them at the top of my deck, one of them, or at the bottom of my deck, one of them. So you're going to have one that might not appear to like the last round of the game, if at all, and you have another that will appear in the next round. This one is going to be this round. So I'm going to go ahead and put this at the top right here, showing that I'm actually going to get 2 green workers, and I'm going to get this temporary ability, which I'll go over soon. But I'm going to get 2 green workers. Now I decide that I would like to get some money maybe next round or something. So I'm going to put the trading card at top, and I'm going to put the praying card at the bottom. My opponent's doing the same thing. We're doing that simultaneously, and we'll take our workers here. So just so you know, this will be out as well. There's going to be 3 here, and I'm just going to set those out. We're not doing that yet, but they should be out for us. Here we go. Every round, there's going to be 3 of these. If in a 2-player game, it'll be more if you're playing with more players. So I'm going to get my 2 green workers based on that hunting card. So I just keep these. And then in turn order, we select which card of these we want to add. So if I would like that, I would get 2 black workers and 2 blue workers. 2 blue, 2 black, and add them to my pool along with those 2 greens that I added. That would be taken, and then my opponent could then take this. There are purple workers as well. Those are criminals, so those would get you suspect. Every time you take a purple individual, you'll get a suspect card, which is right here, a criminal. And you'll flip that, and this will be taken from the taxes. So there's 5 coins in the taxes. You would take it because it is that color, which is like an amberish color. If it were a dull gray color, that's from the supply, but this bright color is from the tax collection. In the 2-player game, there's 5 of them here. So they'll take that one along with these workers if they pick that. So 2 whites, which are like a generic type worker, a black, and a purple. So then just put that to the side, and we'll go over what that means in a bit and get that coin. Now, you're going to go back and forth doing actions. So in my action, I can do anything on my board. I'll go over all of them. Develop is a choice. You can spend money to develop. You would take, so for 4 coins, if I had 4 coins, I don't, I have 3. Let's say I had 4, just so I can explain it. I will go ahead and put this building on a spot that has any dashed marks to the right side of my board. It makes it easier for my for me to do those actions. So if I put it on, let's say I put it on, we'll do the convert action, because that gave us a little direction that we might want to do converts this time. during the game, we want to do at least 5 of them if we want those 4 victory points. So let's just say I did that one. I paid the 4 coins, and it revealed a white worker. So I now get a white worker for doing that, and I lost my 4 coins. Hunt, I can get the provisions that are needed to do various things. They look like these right here, these little sacks right here. These are provisions. So I would get 1 if I went in the first spot, and this says if I put a green worker as well in the second spot, I would get an additional 2, so I could get 3. Let's just say I did 1. So I started the game with 1, I now got another 1. Trade is how you get coins. 1 worker gives 1 coin. If I put an additional blue one, I get an additional 2 coins. Recruit lets you do different actions with these individuals up here. If I dismiss them with that X, all I need is a worker of any color, and I just take whatever bonus this is at the top right. And if I recruit them, I get this plus symbol. So actually, I get to keep them. I get this, in this case, I would get a immediate action of a provision, and then whenever I did this action, I would get a provision. This action is an absolve action. I can see the symbol right here. So if I were to actually spend 2 workers, any color, and then a red, I can keep this person, and they will help me when I absolve throughout the game, and I'll get a provision. Conspire, I can turn any of my workers into a purple worker. Just put them there, and they're going to be purple. Purple is wild. That's why you'd want those criminals. So you have a wild worker that can fit anywhere. Commission, you take from this. So now it's a little different because now you're starting to put out multiple workers that are in specific colors, and you're doing these actions over here. Commission, I would take, there's a prerequisite. First of all, this it goes by what's colors on the left of the action. So you can see at the left of the commission, there's a black. To the right, there's a blue. This is what it impacts. This is your prerequisite, what you need. So you're gonna need black in order to do this. Why do you need black? Because this is the commission and the garrison board right here. This is all the actions. So I'm looking at the black flag right here. Well, we all start the game with 0. So it's not an issue for me to take any of these actions. In a 2-player game, these are the only 2 that are open. If I had a higher level black flag right here, I would be able to do more. I can do these 2s and so forth. Also, you have this, though I said I was gonna mention, you'll have a temporary 2 right here from this individual. It gives you a 2. So if you had a 0, no problem. You actually have a 2 right now. So you could, this opens up this area because there's a 2 value here. So if I want a garrison, I would put a green worker down, a worker of my choice, and a black worker. No problem. So I will go ahead and do that. Green, I'll throw the white down because that is the least powerful. And I'll throw the black down because that's needed as well. And now I can do the commission action. So it says I need to spend 1 provision. No problem. Commission gone. I get immediately reveal this, so I get a blue. Move up in there. And you can see the higher I move up, not only does it unlock more abilities, but it gives me more victory points at the end of the game as well. And I go ahead and take one of these, I believe they're monks, and I have unlocked the 2, so I can go as far as anywhere in this area. Let's just say I want to recruit somebody for free. So I'll take this one, just to block my opponent, make it more difficult. I would take the one that's cheaper maybe. And I'll take the person that I wanted before. I get my provision, and I have recruited this person, so anytime I do the absolve action, I get that bonus that I mentioned before. All right, and a garrison works the same way, or a similar way I should say, except it goes by the red numbers. So it has this combination of workers, and you do the garrison action. That just takes from here. It also costs a provision, and it gives you a black flag instead of a blue one. Fortify, same concept. All this is going to be the same concept as far as where you place your workers. You go by the colors. You fill that out, and that would give you this. The prerequisite is listed up here for those. That's all the fortify area at the very top of your board. Don't get confused. This is a little cluttered. This is all separate. So this is actually my board. So if we were to pull that away. So I don't need any blue flags. It says that, and I have to spend provision. So I have to spend one of my provisions, and I can do that if I filled out the fortify. It's saying then I immediately get either, I get for sure the red flag, and I get either 2 coins or remove one of these suspicion. If I had a suspicion card that I showed you with the coin on it, there's a reason to do that. We'll go over that soon too. But let's just say I take the 2 coins and I just put this here. And you can see if you go far enough, you start getting victory points for those as well. So they all give you immediate bonuses. Attack is an action down here. You can go ahead and attack, and you would get the top of any of these, and that goes by the red symbol. Then you immediately get these type of things right here. And the absolve goes by your blue flag. So in this case, it's a 3. So you're going to first go here, it gets rid of your 0, it costs a coin on your thing, and it will reveal a black flag. And then you cover up one of these actions, you choose which one, and it will resolve that way. And let's see here, you also get rid of one of those suspicions right there, that card, because it shows that on your board. Convert is where you can do the bottom action of the people that instead I showed the attacking, but you can also convert these people if you would like. You just go to that convert spot, and that was the goal that is showing here. And if you go to the convert spot, then it gives you victory points for end of the game based on what's labeled on who it is that you converted. And that is based on the black value. Remember, I can always look at the left of the action I'm doing, and it says what it is referring to. All right, that's that. A couple other things that we can cover here. We talked about suspicion. When this runs out, all these coins, so people were taking from the tax right here, that runs out. Then all of a sudden you're resolving who has the most suspicion. Whoever has the most suspicion in these purple cards right here, whoever has the most of these is now going to gain a debt, which is losing 3 victory points, unless you resolve that debt. Resolving the debt looks like this, a door closing, and it kind of like a flipping a card or a door closing. It shows that. You flip it, and now all of a sudden it becomes a victory point instead of you losing it. So those are how you get debts, for instance. You can also you'll just see like a plus sign and a black. That kind of like, it symbolizes it right here, what's going on. And then it's saying that you remove suspicion equal to half rounded down. So if you had 1 suspicion, you don't discard anything because we're rounding down. So if you had 2 suspicion and that happened, you get to lose 1 at least. All right, and like I said, down here in these rows, as longer we go, there are going to be more things that get revealed, but we don't know until we hit these rows. The prey action, I don't know if I covered the prey action. That's just normally you pay 2 coins and you get you can clear out an area of your board and to do it again. Here's a prey action that I just assigned any worker, and I can remove any of my workers from one area of the board, one of the actions. So you're going to keep doing this. There's going to be all kinds of chains. You're going to see you're going to get different things that maybe give you workers back, like covering garrisons, because garrisons come out the same way that these monks do. And they will give you different things that gives you more workers. You can keep chaining off things. You're going to have these type of people that actually give you individuals as well when you do different things. If I were to develop, for instance, and I had this architect on the top of the board, then I would get a white worker right away. Anyway, it's just going to keep playing out. The rounds are going to get longer as you play. You're going to get familiar with it. And you're going to keep doing the same thing where you draw, keep playing, and most victory points is going to win. You're going to get victory points here on this track. You're going to get victory points based on how far you went over here in the fortify. You get victory points how far you went in the commission, how far you went in the garrison. There's going to be these end game victory points if you were to recruit people. There will be points in the absolve action right here. You can see them. And yeah, you just add them all up, see who wins. All right, we are back and continuing our series of West Kingdom reviews. We are done with Architects. We are now in Paladins, which is the second in the series. Mm-hmm. We're not talking about Raiders or anything the North Sea stuff, just the Architect stuff, or the West Kingdom stuff, I should say. Paladins. So it's heavier than Architects. There's more to think about. That is a plus. That's generally a plus. So while I'm on that theme, let's go over pluses. Not a lot of interaction. So for us, that's a plus. We're not doing a lot of take that things. That could also be a negative. Some people, maybe there's some downtime there that they wouldn't like. Mm-hmm. Plus, amazing actions. I love every action I do. There's no boring action in the game of Paladins. Every action is enjoyable. I'm not like, oh, this one's just a throwaway action. No, I like doing all those actions. Mm. Least favorite action, maybe convert. I don't do that very, very much where you're converting people. But other than that, and still, it's not like that's a boring action. It's just that I don't focus on it. I like every action in that. Fortify, that's awesome. You don't know what you're going to get. You're always going to improve on the red flag, but you don't know beyond that. What are you going to get? That's always cool. And they've done that in other games. They even did that in Architects when you're doing the cathedral. Mm-hmm. That's cool. I like that. I like all the options. So the game is just rich. It's just a rich game, a rich experience. I would say it played really well solo. I played it solo. It played very well 2 players, and I haven't gone beyond that. I know the sweet spot is probably 2. That's what I've read a lot, and I'm happy with 2. So I'm not really that interested in adding more players to it. So if you're looking for a game for for more players, this isn't the one. So you could dock it for that, I guess. But for us, I would say it's not an issue. We like to play 2-player games. We don't need to everyone to play all our games all the time. So that one's just for us mostly, and a solo. It's a good solo. But I don't think Vic has tried it yet, but maybe she will in time. But this is one that I would recommend for a solo. If Vic was saying, I want to play a solo game, then I'll say, try Paladins or try Underwater Cities. So, yeah, very good things. And the only negative thing I already touched on a little bit, the interaction isn't there. So turns could drag on. If you're not really caring about what your opponent's doing generally, you're kind of waiting for your turn again. So that is the only negative I have, and therefore you're going to get a good score out of me. It's a 9, an even 9. Excellent game. I really do recommend this one.
Yeah, what Nick said about not having a single boring action and maybe that he doesn't do the converting action, I thought it was really great that they have the contracts. I believe that's what they're called, where it tells you, or is it King's Orders? I think it's the King's Orders, right?
Where, the ones that come out later in the game?
Yeah, in the beginning it would tell you how many VP you're going to get if you achieve 5 converts, or you do a certain amount of attacks, and it changes, so it gives you something to go for. And then if you see your opponent, okay, he's attacking like crazy, I might just go and become a converter, so that I can just get those points that I need. And it changes up. I like that you can recruit people that have different abilities. I had a big stack of at least 6 recruits with me that I could get bonuses from every action I was doing, and I always like getting bonuses. I like stacking up combinations of stuff, so I really enjoy that game. I like that you can change colors up, that there's a mechanism with that purple meeple, the criminal, that you get suspicion for having them, involved in your game by playing the wild, because they can fit anywhere, and that the board itself has requirements for what color of person you need to play. So there is some thought right in every bit of the game. Like right from your choosing your 3, your drafting, you put 1 on the top of your deck, 1 at the bottom, where you're basically saying, I'm probably never going to see this card, because the game does end before the stack of cards ends. You don't get to run through all of them, I'm pretty sure.
First round, you might run to in the last round.
I didn't think we did, because I didn't see some of the ones I buried underneath there. But that it is nice to say, okay, I'm going to keep bringing this one to the top. Like eventually I'm going to find the time to garrison when it requires 3 provisions. I'm going to wait it out. But then sometimes your opponent, the one interaction I saw was when your opponent is actually taking the spots that, I needed to flip a debt, man. He took it, or I needed that blue guy. And it's funny because you almost will not want to show where your eyes are tracking, because you go and do something else, and then boom, somebody takes the spot at the top where you can assign a worker to get you 3 different colored workers. You can do lots of different cards come out, and they surprise you, and they kind of go, oh, that one's really good, I hope he doesn't take it. So I really like the surprises of this game. Yes. I like the way that things come up, really strong replayability in this game, and we always have fun. We played the online version when I was away from Nick for a while in Canada. There was a tabletop simulator version of it, and we actually had a chance to play even apart, so we have a lot of experience playing this game at 2-player. Always a fun time for us. So my score, I gave it an 8.7. I enjoy this game a lot. I always have fun. The only negative I could think of is sometimes with the suspicion, I get really scared of when he's going to draw it, but it's not even a negative about the game. I can't think really of anything really negative about it. I just love the way it plays. I love that you can retain workers for the next round. You don't lose them. You can choose to have up to 3 that you can keep and carry them forward. There's not much I could say that's negative at all. So far, this is a game I enjoy a lot.
Nice. 2 amazing scores, 9 and an 8.7. So far, Paladins in the lead. So next time is Viscounts. We'll see what we think of that.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. We hope that you liked this video. If you did, go ahead, give it a big thumbs up, and we will see you next time. Thank you.
Bye.